Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that you're joining us today, live or on the replay. My name is Eva Medilek, and I am a certified high performance coach. I specialize in helping busy professionals advance their careers without sacrificing their personal lives in the process. And this morning, I am really thrilled to have a special guest with me today, Tisha Pelletier is with us, and I want to read a little bit about this woman for you a bit so you'll understand why I am so thrilled to have her as a guest on the show to share, her perspective and how she helps as well. So I'm going to pull up her bio here and just read a little bit of it. So Tisha is the Chief Experience Officer of Tisha Marie Enterprises, LLC, and she empowers entrepreneurs to take their vision and make it happen. She's also a personal brand builder, founder of Social Connect PHX, which is an international business mentor. And she's an international business mentor. Excuse me, I read that wrong. Author and a mom of two. Now, recently, she received her real estate license and launched her newest venture, Property with Personality LLC, and that teaches realtors how to build their personal brand to stand out in the crowd. And so nothing gives her more satisfaction than seeing individuals launch their brilliant ideas and go for it. So welcome, Tisha. So nice to have you this morning.
Thank you, Eva. I love being here. So thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So before we came on live, Tisha and I were talking about, you know, how we react to challenges, especially things that are beyond our control. And it's funny because I was personally writing and journaling about that today, and really how we need to really not have our emotions
Mm-hmm.
control our reactions and our responses in
Mm-hmm.
in life. And you were just sharing some examples on what that takes. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur, how important is it to really be in control of your emotional reactions and responses? I want you to speak into that a little bit.
Super important because, as we know, there are things that we absolutely can't control. I don't think any of us were thinking that a major pandemic would be happening.
Yeah.
And there were things that were way out of my control, Eva. I was like, okay, this isn't happening anymore. This is the path I was on. It is now gone. Now what?
Yeah.
And we choose that. There's the reaction and there's the response, right? Like how you choose to react. Like I could go all crazy and just every stress out. And who's that really helping though, right? Like I know I'm bringing other people down. And so I choose to really just go, okay, what can I do about this? I'm a pretty smart girl. I can figure my way into this. Like I can figure it out. I can figure it out. And so it really is like, especially when you're an entrepreneur, it's how do you bounce back? How are you resilient? And how are you going to take control of what you can control and work with that? Right? Knowing that there is another way. Like you're not stuck in how you design things. You can always change it up.
Yeah. So many people were in a situation where they had no control of. I mean, this virus was new to
Mm-hmm.
most of us who are not in the research and scientific area of life. But just, our travel was restricted. What we could and couldn't do was restricted. And a lot of people reacted really powerfully to having those freedoms
Mm-hmm.
and the loss of control. Some handled it well and shifted and pivoted, some didn't. But I know you took on something new during the pandemic. So tell us a little bit about, you know, what you did, where you started, what you did, and what you're doing now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So I've been an entrepreneur for a while, Eva, since 2004. So I've had a lot of different adventures and
Mhm.
experiences. And I really feel that all of those combined experiences led me to where I am now because I was able to take a lot of those things that I had done and recreate and get very creative, right? And adapt. And so prior to the pandemic, I was really working on professional speaking and getting on the professional speaking circuit and still hosting live events and event consulting. And as we know, the event world really did shut down. I mean, if anything, hospitality, tourism, everything shut down completely. And I sat there and I was like, well, okay, I could sit here and do the whole woe is me. Hopefully it'll get back, and just go on my, what I call my Netflix binge and bonbon days of just like, I'm just gonna let the world kind of figure it out. Or I could figure it out. I could figure it out. And it turned out that because I was already on the speaker circuit, people were already seeing me speaking in different events, it easily segued into, can you speak at my virtual summit? Can you speak at my virtual event? Can you get on a live stream? It prompted me to also create a live stream. So I host a live stream a couple times a week now too. And there were so many opportunities. And I really thought in my head, a good friend of mine, Adam, said, your visibility is your currency. And I've never forgotten those words, because you're right. So many of us, when things happen, we want to bury our heads in the sand and we just want to hopefully let it pass us by. And it's like, you could be that person, or you could say, nope, head up, figure it out, right? And so I was already doing talks for a co-working space that was tied to a real estate brokerage out here in Phoenix. And for me, I was already, the reason I was at that co-working space was because I started a podcast before. So it was just so in sync, so in alignment. And when they said, hey, will you start giving talks on things that you like, things that you could provide value to other entrepreneurs, hands down, it was personal branding. Let me talk on personal branding, because I think it's so important, especially now, especially if you're a solopreneur or if you're looking for a job, to really make sure that you're standing out in the crowd. Really, really make sure that you own your brand and you own that reputation. And it just really dawned on me that, in talking to a lot of different strategists, that what I really love to do was the execution part. So the strategy coupled with execution and bringing in a team of people to help these clients of mine get all of the assets they need to really build their brand on a solid foundation. And it just started, I started getting realtors coming to me, other solopreneurs, other mortgage loan officers. And I was like, all right, here we go. We're back in business. This is where we're going. And I really was like, let's start it over. We're starting all over again. And I've really shown myself grace this year. Starting something new takes time, and it takes time to build, and it takes time to build that momentum. But so far, I'm loving this new path. And now, as the world's starting to open back up again, Eva, the speaking gigs are coming back, the events are coming back. So I just needed that break to be able to figure it out. And because I was getting real estate clients, I too became a realtor. I was like, well, I might as well walk the talk. I might as well get it also, so that I know what they're going through. I could speak at their level, and I know what struggles they have. So I also become a product of the product, right? So that was what I did in Q1. So I took the whole first quarter to go back to school, Zoom school, online, and take the test, passed it. And now I'm like, all right, it's another stream of income that I've added. And now I'm moving forward.
Well, congratulations on passing the test. I know that's not an easy feat. I know my daughter, I remember her, I think she took it a couple of times before she finally passed it. So I hear that those tests are really, really challenging. So congratulations to you. I want to acknowledge you for that. But also, there was something you said about giving yourself grace, which I think is important. We live in such high pressured environments where we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, in addition to the pressure of juggling our work life and our personal life and our family life, to try to create the mythical experience of balance. I call it mythical because it never really is equally balanced. There's always something's got to give, and you've got to recalibrate and set your priorities. And the importance, there's two things that's important there. You gave yourself time to recalibrate and adjust, and really and stopping to really see what's next for you, which I think is important for people to hear, the importance of stopping and refocusing and reprioritizing and setting up this plan, so to speak, and to let the ideas flow to you, which is important because a lot of high achieving, highly driven people don't stop. They're afraid they're
Mhm.
going to lose momentum, and it's a going, going, going. And so that's important to stop. And then giving yourself the grace to know that when you enter something new, there's going to be little stumbles and falls, like a child learning
Yeah.
to walk, and
Hmm.
to really give yourself the grace and the space to figure it out. And, a lot of us are hard on ourselves when we
Hmm.
don't get it right, or even afraid of making mistakes, so we don't try. So I love how you navigated that space to bring you to what you're doing now. So explain to me and the people who are watching right now, what problem do you solve, and what do people come to you for to really bring their branding to the next level, or even to just even start getting branded? How important is
Sure.
that? Yeah.
Sure. I find that people who come to me that, ideally are people who have had have had some life experiences already. They've been an entrepreneur for a little bit, and maybe they've been hiding. And I've been there myself. Like, I've always wanted to hide behind the entity until a coach of mine was like, build the brand, like that's what's going to make you stand out. Use what you've got, use those talents and those skills that you've got. And so I think that when people come to me, the phrase that I hear most often, Eva, is I'm winging it or I'm a hot mess. and and what I equate that to is when people say they're winging it or they're a hot mess, one thing that they're really lacking in their life is the confidence, right? So
Right.
they haven't built up that confidence. They don't feel comfortable putting themselves out there quite yet. And so it's my job, and this is what we do in branding, to really build you up, to really get clear and focused on who you are, what you stand for, and really getting to you to that point where we talk about, showing grace and making sure that you're just not, every time someone tells you they don't like you or whatever, that you're just crying inside. Like, we want you to get to that point where you're confident and you're like, all right, you're not my people. These are
Exactly.
my people. Really teaching them that you're going to attract the tribe by being your authentic self, right?
Mhm.
And we can only do that when we build your personal brand. There's no more hiding behind a company. There's none of that. It's really bringing you to the surface and letting you shine so that other people can see that greatness.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to do. That's like, it's just, and I feel like I do that. It doesn't matter if it's in a personal brand capacity or if it's in a business mentoring capacity. I feel like it's all about building up that confidence in that person to know they've got this, they can do this,
Mhm.
they can go out there and do it. So that's what I love. I love to do that in any capacity, in business mentoring and in speaking. I feel like,
Want to offend anybody, and they want to make everybody happy. And once we get clear on what our priorities, our values are, the stand that we can take, and can move into that confidently, know that
uh-huh,
there's no way that you're going to please everybody, and be okay with that. You know,
yes,
really be in control of your values, your
uh-huh.
priorities, and your message, regardless of the chaos that's happening all around. That's really, really important. What challenges do you have getting people to be okay with that?
I think that there's just a fear, of what if this doesn't work? And
Mhm.
there's a lot of talk even on LinkedIn about the words you say to yourself have a tremendous impact on, your emotions and, if you feel like you can do this. So I get that a lot. I think those are the challenges of, well, what if this doesn't work? And what if this doesn't? And we talked about this even a little earlier that, okay, but what if it does work? What
Mhm.
if you try it? What if you take the risk? What if opportunities start to find you versus you chasing opportunities? How does that sound?
Yeah.
I really feel that I am a very big testimony to I'm building my brand and the opportunities are coming to me, and it's not me chasing them.
Right. The chase can be exhausting.
It can be
It
so
can be
exhausting.
exhausting and make you feel like, is it all worth it? But, you know, really creating that visibility that
Mhm.
your brand shows, will be like that light that attracts people to you. that are the
It's
right people for you.
it's so powerful, Eva. And I'm not just talking about if you're an entrepreneur, that's why you should build a brand. I mean, if you think about it, we're all unique. We
Mhm.
all are our own brand, and it's how you choose to nurture that brand and what you choose to do with it that I feel lends itself to getting those opportunities for you.
Mhm.
So if you are just going to hide behind your brand and you're not going to shine and you're not going to put it out there and you're just going to go with everybody else what they're doing, then it's like, all right, then you're not using your best asset,
Yeah.
right? So let's get that done so that
Mhm.
you can start shining, so that you can start building the confidence so that things start to happen for you. You know, that is investing in yourself. And it's like they say, like your brand is yours forever.
Mhm.
It's the best investment. So
Yeah.
many people don't want to invest in themselves. They'll invest in all sorts of programs, but they won't invest in themselves.
Ugh, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. I mean, when you look at webinars and modules and workshops, like it's oh my webinars, modules, and workshops. Oh my, you take all of this knowledge, like, and you're in the consumption mode, but it's the creation that
Yeah.
really leads to the results. And some people hide behind the consumption because I feel that my experience is the fear is I'm not ready yet. I don't know enough yet. I'm not smart enough yet. That not enoughness that we all
Not
feel
enoughness. Uh-huh.
before wanting to step out into the visible arena. So if you had to give one piece of advice to anybody who's watching this right now who feels that, well, I'm just not ready yet to put myself out there and put my brand out there, what piece of advice would you give them?
I would ask them, when will you be ready? Because life is passing us by day by day by day. And there's a really great quote that I saw that, you think all of these people have other gifts and talents that you have. No, they just chose to take a step. They
Mm,
chose to take a step. There's nothing special about everybody else in the world, like the people that you want to emulate or you admire. They chose to take a step, and that's what got them to the success that they're at. But it was about work, putting the work in.
mhm.
So if you're waiting for, oh, it's the next day, or I'll do it the next day, or the next day, then you're just pushing your timeline back.
Yeah.
But if you go all in and say, all right, I'm ready for this, I know that this is going to take me some time. There's a process that I'm going to maybe have some blips in the road. Okay, that's okay, but it's better than not starting at all.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. I always say that all the cliches, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Just take
Uh-huh.
the first step. And it's all about the action. The action is what supports the mind of what we want to do so that we're led by the action and not by the emotion. You know,
Sure.
'Cause the
And to your
emotion of fear will hold you back. Yeah.
Right. And to your point on that, you touched on something too that yeah, we have to have the vision because we talk about taking the vision and making it happen, right?
Mhm.
So you take the vision, what do you see for yourself? And really looking at it as I'm already there. Like I told you that professional speaking is something that I love to do, but it took me several steps to get there. A lot of practice stages, a lot of I will speak for free, whatever. I just want to get the practice. So
Mhm.
it was definitely steps that I had to take to get there. And that's why I say if you can envision that, wow, I'm on a stage and I'm speaking and I'm getting paid to speak and all of these things, you will start taking the action steps to get you to that point. But you got to just start. You can't just keep it in your head. You can't just say, wouldn't it be great, Eva, if I was on a stage speaking and actually getting paid to do it
Mhm.
and then not doing it?
Yep. It's like you're in my head right now because I have been seriously actively reaching out to speak on stages, and I've got two coming up, and it's just like, okay, am I afraid or am I excited? It's a similar emotion. I'm going to choose excitement.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the same feeling in your body.
Uh-huh.
And if you set up your mind to see it as excitement, you will be excited about these opportunities. You will be excited about building your brand. You'll be excited about being seen and getting out there. It feels the same as fear, guys. So just call it excitement and take
Yeah.
the step and the action. Awesome, Tisha Marie. So how can people find you?
Sure, sure. Well, my website, I have a one-page website. People can find out a little bit more about me at tishamarie.com. It's just my first and middle name. And there's actually a strategy you can get in there as well. And then on LinkedIn, I'm bigger on LinkedIn. So if
Mhm.
you're looking at, well, how do I connect with you on a social media platform? LinkedIn is the best place to find me. It's just at Tisha Marie Pelletier if you look that up. And then say
Mhm.
that you mentioned that you saw this on Eva's show, and I'd love to connect with you. I'm big into people who DM me with a message
Woo!
and not just a connect, because I'm like,
Mhm.
how do I know this person? But if you're tuning in, I'd love to hear from you, and that's how we get the conversation started.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that in the chat. I tried to, but it said an error occurred. So I'll go back and put that in the chat. Thank you for your time, my love. I know that you've had a busy, busy day already where you are, and you showed up ready to go and professional with the energy. I so appreciate you. And this is what a true high achieving professional does. We just take and, manage things that are beyond our control. She had a little personal thing she had to do before hopping on this live and handled it like a champ and did not get flustered by what life throws at us. And those are skills that we all can learn, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of what I do in high performance. It's part of what real skilled coaches and mentors do for you, is help you to be in control and manage things that you can't control, and control your emotions and feelings so that you can take the action steps to get to your vision, your dreams, and your goals. So thank you for coming with us today.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah. And for all of you who are watching live, thank you for watching live and on the replay. Just let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you and hear if this has started you thinking in a way on how you can be more visible and be out there so you can make a difference and have an impact in the world. So until next Wednesday, take care and have a great rest of your week.